What's up?
Yeah, nothing much.
I hope it's clear.
Yeah, it should be.
Uh,
I want to check if we are we linked it to the. Hmm? All right, so Doc, welcome once again.
yeah, thank you very much for having me.
All right, so happy New Year to everyone that is watching us. My name is Gloria Boatemaa Andoh, a suicide prevention activist, the CEO of Weinglo Family International, and your regular host with Live Chat with Weinglo. Welcome back from a long break. I know you miss us, and then today we are here with the January edition. This will be coming your way the second week of every month. We'll be talking about very interesting topics. Last year was an amazing year. The COVID-19 pandemic gave us the opportunity to connect more and to empower the youth on suicide prevention and our mental health. It has become very necessary for us to continue these live chats for this year, to be able to still engage the youth, build them so that no matter what they go through, they can still face the challenges of life, because life is not promised to be smooth. It's going to be a rough and it's going to be a smooth. So we are building our mental fortitude to be able to fight whichever thing that come our way instead of giving up in life. So today our discussion is a very important topic for the start of January, even though people have started January. Yes, we are on the 10th month of January, but we all need a fresh start. We all need a positive mind. We all need to have a renewal of mind to let things go and to let things happen. And our guest today is our own Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur. Doug is a medical doctor and a clinical psychologist. Doug, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you
We
for
really
having me.
miss you. We really miss you.
Yeah. As well, we thank God.
All right, Doug. So the duration is 40 minutes, viewers. If you have questions and on the topic, you can send them across on the 02051779964 or send it into the comment box and we'll read it. So it's going to be a 40 minutes program, 30 minutes interview with Doug, and then 10 minutes questions and answers. So Doug, like I said, renewal of mind. You know, when you say renewal of mind, there's a lot of things, and then we need to streamline to exactly the topic we're talking about today. So, what would you say renewal of mind is?
Okay, so let me start by saying that what we are talking about is an aspect of mental health.
Sure.
Mental health. We are talking about mental health. And mental health goes beyond people lying on the street. How you think, how you feel, and how you behave. How a person thinks, how they feel, and how they behave. Are they able to cope and adjust to situations? Are they able to form and maintain meaningful relationships? Are they able to live independently? Are they able to pursue meaningful life goals? Do they have a good perspective about themselves and have a good self-image and identity? Is their presence in any society a threat to the society or makes the society better? So all these levels I've mentioned, it measures a person's mental well-being. And mental health deals with all the brain processes and the mind. The mind is virtually the soft copy. The brain is the hard copy. that is how simply I put it. In your skull is a certain structure, and that structure is the brain. And that brain has different parts, and that parts are responsible for some kind of processes that helps you interact with your environment. So the brain does so many things, and one of them is that it's the seat of the mind, where all cognitive processes, conscious, unconscious processes, and all processes that helps us interpret our environment, interact with our environment, respond to our environment, our memories, our every kind of processes that makes us able to live, pursue our goals, do whatever we have to do, see the world in a certain way. everything else that forms part of our experiences, the way we interpret events around, it's all part of the function of the brain. So the mind virtually is the soft copy, the brain is the hard copy. And so we'd have to realize that the brain houses your mind in a way. So it controls everything around you. And all the processes that has to do with our interaction with the environment, forming memories and pleasant or unpleasant and going about our normal activities. That is what we are talking about. So when someone is renewing their minds, what it means is that they are renewing how they think and process information around and how they respond to things around them. That is basically that, how you're able to process information and respond to your environment in a way that is more productive, that helps you make a certain progress with your life. Because that is where all the problems are. The difference between two people has to do with their mind, their mindset. It's not money, it is not the people around them, it is their mindset. Because you may have two people grow up in the same environment, but they turn out differently because of their mindset. So information determines your mind. Your information, you feed your mind with information, but your mindset is determined by your experiences. So two things, information and experiences. Information, experiences. When you have an information, it feeds your mind. Then, it controls how you think. But when those information, adds on to a certain experience, then you have a mindset. So people form mindsets not based on just information, but based on what? The experiences that come with that information or the things that happens around them. So that is renewing your mind, the way you think, the way you process information, and how you respond to your environment.
Okay, so the way you think, the way you process information, and how you respond to your environment is the renewal of your mind. Okay, so how is it then important for everyone to have a renewal of mind, though?
Yes, because your state is determined by your mindset. Who you are, how you do your things, how you respond to your environment is determined by your mindset. So in order to make progress, you need to renew it. If you realize that your current state is not your final destination, to get to that final destination, you cannot keep thinking the same way. And so when people have some kind of a certain style of life, we call lifestyle, style of life, they have a way of doing things, getting certain results. To be able to get another result, you need to be able to change the way you do things. And it starts from the mind. How you think influences how you feel. How you feel influences how you behave. So that is it. To be able to get a different outcome, you need a different mindset to be able to get a different outcome. So if your current situation you're not satisfied about, or you think that you have somewhere to go which is better than your current situation, then you need a certain change of mindset to be able to achieve that. Because success is intentional, it's not automatic. You intentionally take decisions. This is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. This is how I have to be in order to be able to achieve this and that. And it starts from there. That is the first thing. Your thinking influences how you feel. How you feel influences how you behave. The second is that to be able to cope and adjust to the challenges of this life, you need a particular mindset.
I think the network is
The
not. Yeah.
winning mindset, a success mindset, an enduring mindset, a thankful
Hello, Doc.
mindset, able to adjust situations.
Hello, Doc. So, like we are talking about, I think
Renewing of your
the
mind.
network, Doug will join in soon. The network is not so stable, but then he's going to join in soon. You need a particular mindset to make things happen, like he was saying. You've learned about how information feeds our mind. Doug will be joining very soon, but I want us to go through whilst we wait for him to join us. And also, if you have comment, if you have not shared and you're listening to it alone, you're not being fair. Share, let your friends also get to hear what is happening, because it's very important that everybody has a very healthy mental health and also a very good mindset to start the year, even though we started the year. But we need to have a fresh mindset to make things happen, to be able to let things go and then let the new things happen for us. So, like he said, the information that we feed on is what's actually okay. So, Doug is back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Doug.
I'm not sure what. So I was talking how you feel influences how you behave. How you think influences how you feel. How you feel influences how you behave. So it starts with a certain kind of mindset. So your outcome is dependent on how you think, and how you think determines your choices. Stephen Covey's book on 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talked about choice. The fact that if there's a stimulus, we expect a certain outcome, but that outcome is not automatic. In between the stimulus and an outcome is what a gap is filled by choice. So to be able to make better choices, you need a certain kind of mindset to make better choices. Then also I talked about coping and adjusting to situations. To be able to cope well, adjust to situations well, you need a mindset. Last year taught us about the fact that everything is uncertain. Difficult times can suddenly come and change everything about you and the world. But when those difficulties come, how do you cope? It depends on your mindset. Last year, some people became, richer than they were. Others too suffered more. Others too were very, very sad and afraid and all that. It was all dependent on a certain kind of mindset. Whilst others were taking opportunities in advantage of your situations, you need a certain kind of mindset. Then also to be able to form and maintain meaningful relationships, right? Your relationships, the kind of relationships you have, the people you entertain, the kind of things you get involved in, maintaining a very good relationship with family members, with workers, with people around you. You need a certain mindset that is effective in handling some of the conflicts around you and all that, to be able to endure bad relationships and all that. It depends on your mindset. So you need some renewal of your mind. Then also, we talk about your perception about yourself. If you have a very negative perception about yourself, you cannot appreciate your own potentials and be able to reach out to your fullest capacity. You cannot be able to do or perform maximum without having a certain good perception about yourself. So renewal of mind also has to do with having a certain kind of renewed identity, renewed perception about who you are and what you can do. Because that is what is going to limit you. If you think you cannot, you cannot. If you think you can, the likelihood that you will achieve is very high. So that also helps when you renew your mind. Then also has to do with living independently. Over dependence on others and situations around can cause all kinds of mental problems. When you are overly dependent on others, you cannot be independent. At your age, there are things that you're supposed to have achieved. You cannot achieve them. You always have to depend on this person and that person. Certain renewal of mind so that you can be independent, and be able to achieve things yourself, to be able to live the kind of life that you dream of living, less dependent on others, more, living more independently. And that comes by a certain kind of renewal, appreciating life, the beauty of life, the good about things around you. It comes with a certain kind of renewal of mind. Then also to be able to deal with past pain and the impact of the past, you need a renewed mind. Because all of us go through certain experiences. We all have some kind of bad past experiences. Maybe last year, last 2 years, last 10 years, 20 years ago. There are some people who had some experiences 30 years ago, and that experience is still, affecting them. They can't move past beyond that, and it's affecting them. It's limiting them today. Though that those experiences, it's long gone.
Yeah. Hello, Doc. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Now we can.
You can.
Yes. You unmute yourself. That's
Okay. So to be able to
yeah, I think the network is still not working out, but hey, he's going to come back. But like he said, we need to renew our mind and have a very good perception about ourselves to make things happen for us. Because what you are what you think. If you believe that you can do it, you can. But if you believe you cannot, you cannot. But and you
can
also
hear me, right?
all right, dog. Yes, we can hear you now. Hello, dog. We can hear you. All right. So please send in your questions. Share the page. Invite a friend to listen because this will be coming your way every. Okay, dog.
Yeah, sorry. That
Don't
is
worry. I'm here for
one of
you.
the stuff for online stuff. So to be able to live beyond the past and take advantage of your past, and deal with the pain of the past and be able to use it as a tool to achieve success, you need a renewal of your mind. Maybe someone was raped, right? Two people were raped. One person got over it, used the rape as a tool to make a certain impact. Another person hasn't forgotten about the pain of the rape and is still dwelling in the past. So to be able to get over the past, you need some kind of renewal of your mind. You need to be able to see things differently. Someone said that if you can't change what you are seeing, change how you see it. If you can't change what you're seeing, change how you see it. And so to be able to get over the past and to use the past as a tool to make certain changes that makes you make progress, you need a renewal of mind. Then also to be effective in your workplace, in your community, to contribute positively to the society you find yourself in, to leave tangible impact and not have a negative influence on your community, you need to renew your mind. Sometimes you think about, why is this person having a certain negative attitude towards the community? Why are they destroying their community? Why are they behaving the way they behave at work? Why are they corrupt? Why are they this? Why are they that? You need some kind of renewal of your mind to be able to have a certain positive impact on the society. For example, if you look at Weinglo International, right, Family International, you are doing an amazing work. It's because of your mindset. It's as simple as that. You have a certain thinking that is compatible with impact. So those who want to make impact, positive impact on their society, live a certain kind of life that influences the society in a positive way, they need some kind of renewal of your mind. So renewal of your mind affects all kinds of things, even across board. And two people, the reason why we do things differently is because of the way we think, a mind that is set based on information and experiences. And so these are some of the reasons why we need to renew our minds.
Okay, so this is well explained. So, dog, how do we start renewing our mind? Because some mindsets has been like, yes, you have a particular mindset, your parents taught you a particular thing, you read something, your life experience have made you build some walls around your life, and that's like it's a no-go area, like you just focus on that particular thing. How do I begin to renew my mind to actually understand the happenings of life, to link it to the possibilities and opportunities that is ahead of me?
Generally, the first step has to do with acknowledge that there is something beyond what you have. There is something beyond and better. Acknowledge that you need to make progress with your life. And there is a certain kind of style of life that is compatible with success. So you need to acknowledge that people would have to come to a point where they have to pause and start thinking about a better life, a better way of doing things. That is the first step. If you think you have arrived, you wouldn't see a need to have a certain change of your mind. If you think you have arrived, you will have a need to change your mind. So that is the first step. You need to acknowledge that there is something better that can happen to your life. There is a better experience. there is a better success. There is a better way of doing things that makes life more progressive and more successful. It starts from there. The second is that you need to have an introspection, an honest introspection. Like you need to think about yourself, your life, your past, everything that is happening around you to find out whether you are actually making progress and whether you can actually do something better. A lot of people are settled and satisfied with where they are, because they've not really had that introspection. They've not really examined their own lives and whether they're happy or not, whether they can succeed or not, whether they can move past this pain or this kind of life or that kind of thing. So you need to have an honest assessment about your own life and decide on the way forward. The third one has to do with the fact that you need to start thinking about, success. Think about a better life. I keep using this example. Why would someone go for a second hand instead of a first hand? Why second hand instead of a first hand? Is it more difficult to get, or is just a mindset? Because whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve.
Yeah.
So you need to now intentionally decide on success. You need to intentionally decide that where I am, it is not the best. I need to make a certain progress, regardless of your age. I know the person who started, I think there's a story about the person who started KFC. At some point later in his life, at some point, he had to sit down and pause, have an assessment about his life, and think about how he could succeed. And now we have KFC. Even at an old age, KFC was big, and now it's all over the world. So everybody would have to have that kind of decision. Like you need to decide on success. Success is not automatic. People don't just get up to be successful. They decide, and they decide on how to succeed. They begin to learn, they begin to read, they begin to associate themselves with the right people. Success is a decision. So you have to just make up your mind and decide on success so that you can achieve some level of success. Otherwise, it's difficult. Even if they push you into success, you'll reject it or you can't sustain it because you haven't taken that decision of success. Then there are three things that people can do to renew their mind. The first one has to do with the fact that they need to feed on the right things. I said that people's mindset is determined on two primary things: information and experience. So information is so important. The things you feed on is the start to a certain mindset. Whatever you feed on, you are building a certain kind of mindset that would influence the kind of things you achieve with your life. So people should feed on the right things. People should feed on positive things that are positive. When you read the Bible, I think Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 to 8, it talks about the fact that whatever is true, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good report, whatever is praiseworthy, it says dwell on these things. And the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will fill your heart and your mind. So we need to be able to fill our minds with the positive things. There are all kinds of negative things going on around. When you go to social media, you can get good stuff, you can get bad stuff, but you need to choose the good stuff. That is why you read good books. The Bible is an important source of goodness. There are so many things in the Bible that can help you renew your mind. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 talks about it. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. With what? The word of God. The Bible has all kinds of things in there that can help you renew your mind. Read good books. That helps. Feed on the right information. When you go on social media, on TV, you switch on your television, you should be able to choose the kind of information that you feed on. And that becomes important and a starting point to renewing your mind. The second has to do with the fact that, choose pleasant experiences. Choose pleasant experiences. So every experience, with a certain kind of information turns into a certain mindset. And we choose experiences. So this year, you need to choose pleasant experiences and create pleasant experiences around you. So it's not just any meeting you must attend. It's not any program you must go to. It is not anything you must just sign up to. You need to be able to create pleasant experiences and choose experiences that would help you become a better person, because your experiences helps solidify a certain information, and that becomes your mindset. And that is so important. So you need to be careful where you go to and stuff like that. The next thing has to do with the fact that surround yourself with positive people. People would have a certain kind of, good influence over your life. Everybody needs 4 circles of people. Like all of us, we need 4 circles of people. The external circle is people I call, the crowds. The crowds. They are people who are they may know you from afar. You may know them from afar. They have virtually no influence on you. So they are part of the crowd. Then we have the acquaintances. The next inner circle is the acquaintances. The acquaintances are the people who have a certain kind, you know them from a distance, but you have a certain good knowledge of them, and they have some level of influence over your life, but that is not too significant. Then getting inner circle, we have friends. So we have the crowds, we have the friends, we have the acquaintances, then the friends. Friends are people who are very, very close to you, and they have some significant influence on your life. They make some inputs in your life all the time. And their influence is quite significant. Love, you share a bit more time with them, talk to them about some personal issues sometimes, and then they make some love basis. Then we have the innermost circle we call the intimates. Intimate best friends, your buddies, people your time with influence over your life. So everybody needs these 4 people around your life. You invest more in intimates and less in the crowd. And someone may be an intimate today, but if the experiences they are creating for you is negative, you need to shift them into the crowd because they are not helping you make progress. So someone can be a friend today or an intimate today, but their influence over your life has become negative. It's become unbearable. People who make your life very uncomfortable, you need to shift them into the crowd so that you can have a certain kind of peace of mind to be able to pursue your goals. So some people may be in the crowd, yesterday, but because they become very, very resourceful, they may have to be shifted, to become intimate.
Wow, you're learning a lot of things. I mean, what Doug is talking about today, it's so deep to the extent that after listening to this program, you need to actually sit down and
Or
analyze.
even friends. Influence has become very, very positive. So yourself with people who would have. The last thing I'll add is that can you hear me now?
Yes, please, Doug.
Yeah, so I talked about the friendships, right? Then the last thing has to do with the fact that invest in things that develops you personally, personal development stuff, things that enrich your life, that makes you become a better person, helps you have a better, outlook towards life, makes you skillful at the things you can do, and helps you, embrace new things, and be able to do the kind of things that you have to do. And all of us would have to, be prepared to embrace new things, new experiences, which are positive. So invest in things that would develop you as an individual, because your personal development can be the basis for your success. If you are not prepared for an opportunity, you will misuse that opportunity. So things that develops you as a person, you need to invest, time and money in stuff like that. So these are some of the things that can briefly can help us, develop a certain mindset for a certain kind of success.
Wow. This very the insight is deep, Doug. You've said a lot about how to go about the processes of renewing your mind, which I believe that after this program, you need to sit down and analyze what our resource person has said. And then I believe that we can all make it like Doug is singing. So I want to talk about I want to ask a question, Doug. So, like you said, there are some friends that after a while they need to be pushed into the crowd.
Yeah.
Yes. How do you do
Yes.
that? That is, how do you do that?
Well, you need to limit your interaction with them and the kind of information you share with them. Sometimes you may have to have an honest chat with them. The fact that maybe this and this and this that is happening now, you are not excited about, and probably you moving forward, you cannot tolerate that kind of experience. then limit your experiences with them, limit your time and interaction with them if they are not ready to change or adjust. And sometimes you have to develop an I don't care attitude in order to be sane and safe. Sometimes we are too cautious and too sensitive about losing people, but they are not really careful about losing us, and sometimes we think about them so much that we don't want to lose them. But anybody who is digging your grave, you have to just let them go, regardless of what the consequences are, because ultimately it's going to help you yourself.
Yeah. Please send in your questions. I believe that Doug has said a lot about the importance of renewing your mind, how the process that you need to go through to renew your mind. Doug, can you name them one after the other, not necessarily explaining it, but just give us the steps so that those who are listening, you can actually put it down, and then when we finish the program, you assess yourself, because it's not just a program that we are hosting to just talk about it and that's it. We want to see it happening in lives of people. It's very important to us. That's how come Doug has spent time to be here to explain everything. So let's put it down. Let's share the page. Let's help people to also renew their mind. It's a new year and a lot of things have happened. Let the bad go. Yes, it's not easy, but you need to let it go. You need to move on, and you need these processes to be able to move on, to be a better person. Because Doug also said that he believes that everybody can do what you have focused or you have set your mind to do. Everybody can. If you say you cannot, then you cannot. But if you purpose on your mind that you can do it, you can do it. So Doug, please go through the process for us so that we can take notes.
I'm kind of speaking everything I'm saying offhand. So let me try and
okay, I as well. So I can. First of all, you need to. First of all, you need to acknowledge you need to make progress in life. And the second one, you need to have an honest search of your life. As in, you sit down and assess, be honest about your life, what is going on in your life, put them on paper. Think of something better you need to make, something better you need to make. It means that as a person, everybody has a purpose, everybody can make changes. You cannot limit yourself because something bad happened to you. You can be something better if you put your mind to it. If I'm right, Doug.
We can go ahead. It's fine.
Feed on the right information, feed on the right things. Choose your friends, whatever, choose people with positive vibe. I mean, read materials that can help you update your life and add value to yourself. And choose pleasant experience. Let's go of the bad ones and let's take the good ones and think about the good ones to build upon the good ones instead of always thinking about the bad issues that happen. And then surround yourself with positive people. I think I've said that. Surround yourself with positive people. And they are people you need to know, the people you need to have around you. We have the crowd, we have the acquaintances, we have the inner circles, that's our friends, the innermost persons, that's our close friends, and then you invest in things that will help your life, promote your life, add value to your life. Doug, am I right?
Yeah, I think you got most of the stuff. Okay.
All right. So someone is asking, I have really been into a lot of issues and it's so difficult to let go. I've tried several times to let go, but the more I try, the more I think about it. How can you help me with this?
I think that for people who are struggling to make progress, they may need help and they may need some professional help. So what I would advise her to do is to seek some professional help, and not give up on anything. So that is what I advise, because there may be some specific issues that needs to be addressed specifically, instead of some general stuff. So that is what I advise the person to do. The same way they go to hospital when they have malaria, when these issues come up, they need to seek probably a professional counselor or clinical psychologist who will help, will be best for the person.
And Doc is a clinical psychologist. He's a counselor, so you can see him. And remember, Weinglo Family International is giving you that service as well. So you are in safe hands. When we talk about it, we deal with the issues. And you have Dr. Arthur there, you don't have a problem. You can always contact him. All right, Doc, another question. I'm in a marriage that I have tried so many times to make it work. The more I try, the more I lose myself. It has been a continuous event, and it's either making me get sick, high blood pressure, or losing myself. So do you say that I should just move on and leave, because you said we don't have to let anything stress us? So should I just leave, even though the Bible says that he's against divorce?
Okay, there are three things. When it comes to some of these issues, there are three things. The first one is that you either learn to cope with the situation and stay. 2, or you walk away. 3, or you solve the problem. So you either solve the problems so that things are better, or 2, if the things cannot change, you either cope with it, learn how to cope with it in a way that you would make progress, or the third one is that you walk away. These are three options, and so depending on what the issues are, then we'll be able to deal with it. The next thing I'll tell the person is that usually when people are not specific with the issues and address the issues one by one, and it becomes general, then they lose the opportunity to fix the problem. So a lot of marital problems, people are quite general, with their statement. Maybe he's stingy, but what does it actually mean? He doesn't care. What does it actually mean? He doesn't care or she doesn't care. It's a general statement. We need to be very specific. Maybe because of A, B, C, D, I think he doesn't care. Because of A, B, C, D, I am not happy. We need to be very, very specific with the issue so that it can be addressed. And I dare to say that it's not every marital issue that can be solved, especially if the two of them went into the wrong marriage. It is not every marriage God puts together. I have come to a conclusion. It is not every marriage that God puts together. And sometimes on the wedding day, when the pastor is saying, whatever God has put together, let no man put asunder, God is even confused because he didn't put them together. So it's not every marriage that God puts together. And I've come to a conclusion that people divorce before they marry. People divorce before they marry. Because most of the time, the issues before marriage is the same issues that happen after marriage. And it even becomes worse.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this lady, or this gentleman asking that question, all the things happened. It was quite there. Or before marriage, there was some kind of dissatisfaction, but they went ahead anyway. So depending on what the specific marital issues are, these are the three ways that usually I would suggest. You either learn to cope with the situation in such a way that you are in the marriage, you can't change the thing, but you are fine. You find ways to cope. Or you deal with the issues if it can be solved so that you can be happy. Or the third one is you walk away. But that one, they need to seek some professional, attention. Where the details of the issues, you go into that. Then based on what is happening, we can friend it, see whether we can solve it or not.
Doug, someone is asking, how do you know the marriage God has put together?
Well, I have realized that there are three things that I use to find out. One, the issues before marriage, and whether there was a desire not to have the marriage. There are a lot of people who weep before their wedding. There are a lot of people who, at the wedding day, I think yesterday I had someone who saw me and said that when the pastor asked him whether he should accept, usually that confession, do you accept him as your lawfully? She wanted to say no. But because of those who have been invited, she couldn't say no.
Yes.
So before marriage, you will know whether God is in relationship. You are not settled in there, and there are always issues here and there, and you feel like walking out. It is not God, because God won't give you something you are not happy about. The second, I've realized that there is this deep connection that helps them achieve purpose together. There is some sense of purpose and some sense of responsibility that comes up with anybody whose marriage God ordained. The two of them have this level of connection that goes beyond the physical things, and they are able to fulfill a certain divine assignment like easily. It's like whatever she's involved in, whatever you are involved in, there's some kind of harmony, in terms of purpose and that urgency that we must do this for the Lord and that kind of thing. That is the second thing. Then the third one is that regardless of the challenge, it's like it doesn't break them. Every marriage has their issues, but the marriages God put together, regardless of the challenges, like there is no sense that I want to walk out. There is no feeling that, it won't work, or no compounding every time there are issues. They're able to find solutions to the problems very easily if that marriage is from God. So these are some of the three things that I use, but it's not every marriage God put together.
All right. So viewers, you've been listening to Live Chats with Weinglo Family International and our host, Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur. Doug, your final words. What would you want your people to take home whilst you're renewing our mind? It's January, so we want everything new and positive vibe to accomplish good things before the end of the year.
Yeah, so what I will say is that the difference between 2020 and 2001 is you as a person. You are the only difference. The year 31st December was just a day, before 1st January. There's nothing really special about that transition. I'm sure in God's books, there is nothing like even 31st December. We have named the days, according to something. So the difference between last year and this year is you. And the difference between you and the next person is your mindset. It's as simple as that. The way you think, the way you see things. If only you see things differently, that situation will change. If only you would think differently, things will change. It is not automatic that things should happen to you. You can choose what happens to you if you pay attention and if you begin to think differently. Even the Bible is clear about it. It says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's as simple as that. Your thinking defines who you are. So if only this year you begin to think success, you begin to think God, you begin to think potential, you begin to think happiness, you begin to think joy, you begin to think about personal progress, you begin to see the good in every bad situation. If only you will stretch yourself in the way you think, you begin to see opportunities instead of challenges. You begin to think about, how to fix instead of the problems. Your mind limits your ability to do what you have to do. So that I think that the greatest goal anybody can set this year is a renewal of mind, because that would usher you into many good stuff, even a break from the past, break from toxic people, and also initiation of new dreams and ideas. It starts from up here. And if you can protect your mind from toxic things, you are going to shine this year. Nothing will stop you.
Amen. 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 In fact, you gave us a lot of memory verse. We are so grateful. Viewers, I don't know, but Doug has done it all. He's given us the details. So please, the best gift you can give yourself this year is the renewal of your mind. And you are what you think. Thank you very much, Doug, for coming on Live Chat with me. We are so grateful. Have a good evening. And we know we will see you.
Anybody can get in touch with me too.
Yes. If you can, Doug, if you want to put your number out there, you can. If you want to, yeah. Or follow Doug on.
Yeah, 0249 802 500. 0249 802 500. And I'm in Ghana. That is a Ghana line. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, for watching us, for listening to us. Um, we are so grateful that you made time to be part of this discussion. It's been very fruitful. You are what you think. Renewal of your mind is the best gift you can ever give yourself. Weinglo Family International has an office now at the Achimota ABC Road. It's opposite the ABC. You can walk in anytime, any day, and then we have our services. We have professional counselors and psychology like Dr. As you see, very deep. So do not be troubled. If you need help, just like you get malaria, you go to the hospital, please. Your mental health is very important to us. So if you need help, you can call on to us all the time, anytime, and we will be ready to help you. We are running back to school. The kids are going back to school. And for the less privileged, it's not easy when you to put books together for your children. I mean, stationery and all that. And the notice is very short. So we want to help the less privileged and support parents to be able to provide for the kids while they go back to school. It will help them to learn hard. It will give them some joy. I don't know, those times that we used to be in school. When you get to school the first time, I mean, after the term, you see people with new math sets, new books, and all that. Imagine you coming with nothing. It's very sad. Let's not forget all these events that we have all gone through, and then think about a child out there who needs your help. So if you want to partner, you want to sponsor, you can always walk to our office, follow us on our social media platforms. And hey, we have Ohinere Giftianti's book available in our office. If you've not read this book, then I don't think you're in Ghana. You need to read because it's deep. It's deep. That's 50 nuggets at 50. Her experiences, what he's been through, and she's still standing. You need to read it, and then you get a copy. You can you can get a copy. Thank you. Have a good evening. See you all. Remember that you are what you think, and this year renew your mind, and you will make it. Thank you very much, and have a good night, dog. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.